Namaskar. Welcome you all in this educational video of NIOS. Now we are going to learn subject EVS. This is for senior secondary level. The code number for this subject is 333, and now we are going to do lesson number 3, which you can see on the screen. Name of the lesson is degradation. The meaning of degradation is going down. So, the lesson name is degradation of natural environment. We all know that the environment is getting polluted day by day with each passing day. All the natural resources are depleting. So, this chapter is whole about this degradation of natural environment. Now, let us understand how the natural environment is getting polluted. The first point on the screen is explaining that excessive burning of coal, wood, kerosene and petrol, when all these things are burned in excess amount, then there is release of some toxic gases such as SO2. You know, SO2 is sulfur dioxide. You must have felt the smell of SO2, and also the NOx, NOx. These are the oxides of nitrogen. Nitrogen is a gas. We know it smells really different. This is a different kind of gas, and also there are some other wood burn smell, carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons in the air. So, all these gases, when these are emitted by the burning of these some substances, and sometimes these gases are also emitted by the industries, power plants, automobiles and aircrafts. The toxic gases, these gases pollute air, which adversely affects human health and also the health of plants. Now, this is the second point. We already have understood about the coal mines. So, there are some acid water which comes from those coal mines, and also the toxic waste of industries, chemical fertilizers and pesticides from agricultural fields. They have polluted rivers and also the other water bodies which are on the earth. So, all these things pollute our water resources. And also some other pollution which occurs simultaneously. Now, this is the third point. This is about the problem of soil pollution, which is increasing day by day at villages, at cities and also at industrial areas. So, all these three places where soil is getting polluted, it is due to the faulty disposal of solid and liquid wastes, which is generated from households and industries. So, we all should be careful about the disposal of the waste material. So, all these points explained us how humans have spoiled the environment. Now further, we will understand how humans have spoilt our natural resources. The first point explained that depleting of natural resources to a critical level was the reason, and the second reason was causing pollution to natural water bodies and land areas. Now you can see a picture on the screen. It explains the impact of population growth on environment. You can see the first picture on the left. It is about growing population, as there is a vertical arrow above it, and beside that you can see a blue arrow. It is explaining the causes which causes enormous pressure on the environment, because the human population is growing. So there is a need for space, for more commodities are needed as the population is growing. So everything is needed to fulfill their basic needs. They need water, they need home, they need everything for a smooth life, and which leads to the change in land use pattern. So human population growth is an issue. Now let's discuss the factors which leads to rise in population. The first factor explains about the improved agricultural protection. It helped in increasing population, and thus more food become available for the population. Because more population needs more food. So this is one factor. Another factor is that there is progress in medicine. It not only prevented death due to epidemics, but early diagnosis and treatments of the diseases are also possible. So longevity has increased now, because now they are in good health. So the impact of population growth on the environment. We all know that with the growing population, the requirement for space, shelter, commodities have exerted enormous pressure on the environment. Because as human population will grow, they all will need more space, more houses, more commodity, more food, more oil, all those substances which are required to fulfill their basic needs. They will need more coal, everything. So this is in continuation of the previous slide. To provide for these things which are needed, land use has changed dramatically, and it has already been seen that when forests are cleared and they are getting cut for the cultivation of grains and fruit crops. And there are some points. These are point 1 to 7. These are all about the same topic. The first point explains clearing land for cultivation to grow more food. So forests and natural grasslands have been converted to farmlands, and also some wetlands have been drained and arid lands have been irrigated, so that cultivation can happen. This is in continuation of the previous slide. These changes have been made to grow more food and to have more raw materials, but in doing so, the natural resources have been depleted and the landscapes have undergone drastic changes. Because of human needs, all those basic needs to be fulfilled. For example, forests have been cleaned, overlarge for cultivation of agricultural crops, and many mangrove forests, as we all know, that forests help the soil to keep hold of at that place. But when forests are cut, then the erosion will occur and that is the need of the time. This is the second point. This is about water scarcity. We all know that we get water as rainfall and also flow into rivers, and we also get water from lakes and from other water bodies. And some of it seeps into the ground when there is rain. Then the water from the top portion of the ground, it seeps into the ground and reaches the ground level. I will show you the picture. You can see the image on the screen, that at certain depth of this soil, all the pore spaces between the soil particles are saturated with water, as they are very small pores. As we can see the pores in our skin, similarly they are very minute pores in the soil, and this depth is called water table edges. This is the third point. It explains about the need for human settlements. Apart from excessive land use, changes for growing food and large population, they means greater requirement for shelter. And to make houses for so many people, we need stones and other building materials, and all those things have to be quarried. So more rocks have to be blown off for making more houses, and similarly more water to be used for the same work. So we need more resources for making houses. This is the fourth point. Need for transport. For this, elaborate network of transport is required to fulfill the growing needs of teeming millions. Like the different resources are available at different places, but we need to combine them and use them at one place for making different places, different things, different houses, bridges. So various modes of transports have been developed which consume growing quantities of fossil fuels such as coal, gas, and petroleum, and they also pollute our atmosphere. So all these things are natural resources which human use for different work. Now let us understand fifth point, need for various commodities. Articles of everyday use such as plastic vessels, mugs, buckets, etc. And also there are some agricultural implements and machineries and chemical cosmetics. All these things, they are getting manufactured in factories. So all these things are the basic needs which are needed in our daily life use. The cosmetic items and chemicals, there are different kinds, different categories of things which are required for use in daily life. This is in continuation of the previous slide. The raw materials and fossil fuels and water is needed to run industries for manufacturing these products, lead to their depletion. And because of this, rapid industrialization has led to pollution from dumping of industrial effluents into the rivers and other water bodies. And the rapid industrialization has caused much damage to the environment. So the mining activities have depleted stock of mineral resources, particularly the fossil fuels. Now, at present, the industrial civilization is becoming a burden on nature. And now is the time for all of us to learn to live in harmony with nature. We all must try to use those primitive methods in our daily life for the betterment of environment and for our better future. Sixth point is about the slum development. As the population is increasing, overpopulated areas result in congested roads and slum formation, which lacks basic amenities like food, drinking water, drainage, waste disposal, and the lack of hygienic conditions and the filthy environment create potential conditions for different kinds of public health problems, including the spread of epidemic diseases. And also, because of those slums, at some places there is discharge of untreated effluents, the liquid waste materials, and throwing of wastes into water bodies have polluted most of the lakes and rivers. Point 7 is about pollution resulting from overpopulation. We know holy rivers like Ganga and Yamuna, where we take bath, and all these rivers are suffering from pollution due to the discharge of effluents from various industries and human settlement. And also the bathing and washing of clothes and throwing of garbage into the river is also causing the rivers get polluted. Till now, we have understood and explained the lesson. In the next video, we would be doing part 2. Thank you. Namaskar.